Bugs on the beach.
There is always carnage.
Suddenly, I look up and I see what looks like hundreds of thousands of spiders all over the roof. Now bear in mind the roof is like this on me.
We hit the roof. It was just the recovery tracks.
No, they're all.
Up here in Mildura, we're servicing the full drive, using my dad's little workshop for it. I'm going to keep this as a separate video for you guys, so people that are only interested in servicing a Ford Ranger can watch it down below in my other videos. But yes, here we go. The first thing we'll need to do is obviously remove the oil cap. And we'll drain the oil. Took me a while. I'm used to working on full drives on the ground. I'm still going to have to crouch. This hoist has to go up to release its locks and then down, so you need a little bit of gap to allow it to come down again. We're going to have to remove these bash plates underneath in order to drop the oil. So we'll do that. All the kilometres of dust, dirt. Let's go low enough. Ooh, we're going to get it into the drain. One thing with the Ford Ranger, these 3.2 litre turbo diesels, don't ever leave the oil draining overnight on these things. You literally just want to get the main bit out, then put the plug back in. What I like to do is I like to drain the oil, and then once I see it go to a drip, I put the plug back in, and then I'll move to the oil filter, replace the oil filter, and then I'll put the new oil filter in, drop the car down, put oil in it, start it, look for the oil pressure light on the dash go away, and then I'm happy. The reason being is there has been an issue with the 3.2s in people draining it for too much, and they actually drain the amount out of the oil pump inside the motor, and it causes issues. I don't know, people on YouTube can probably explain it to us, but this is the way I've done it, and I've done it for many thousands of kilometres, and it's never given me an issue. But yeah, people who have drained these vehicles right down to nothing and actually pulled the part out of the oil pump has blown up motors, because the oil pump does not want to prime again. So that's how I do it. Tell me down in the comments if you do it any different ways on these Rangers, because they are a bit of a nuisance when it comes to oil changes. I know some people it's cost them thousands. but you need to change your oil on a motor vehicle. What I'm doing here is getting into where the oil filter is, which is behind this little cover here and behind the wheel here. Lucky you've got the wheels hanging down, you've got plenty of room here. Just use a couple of screwdrivers, get little plastic clips off, and we're at the filter. Out. New filter here. They come with a new O-ring. I'm going to go drain the oil out of it. I'll be back in a sec. New seal them. Grab a little bit of oil on your finger. Just run it around the seal, as we don't want the dry rubber seal getting caught up and not making it all the way in. Very careful not to cross thread it. These oil filter housings are made of what, like a Bakelite. It's like a plastic. You don't want to damage it. And that's not tight, that's just firm. Because I want to get it off next time without breaking it. So it's only in there firm. That's a big enough handle. I don't need to go very hard with it. The type of oil that I'm putting in it is a 5W40. It's a fully synthetic. I think the container suits it because it is very expensive, liquid gold. Now, on the back, this is very important when it comes to one of these ranges. There we go. Protection in high output turbocharged or naturally aspirated engines, including turbo diesels. So this is a special oil that is designed for a turbo diesel engine, and it needs to be a fully synthetic for the Rangers. Make sure you get the correct oil to suit your vehicle. It's very important. Some vehicles need a lot thinner, or some need a lot of thicker oil, and this one needs a very expensive fully synthetic oil. Now I'm going to put, I believe it's 9 litres that this truck takes, or 9.5. I'm going to put 9 litres in it, and then I'm going to start it up, keep an eye on the oil pressure light on it, which should come on when I start the vehicle, and then it'll go off after the vehicle gets oil pressure, and then I know that it's gone right through the motor. Let the motor sit for a minute or two and I'll check the levels, and I think I will have to put half a litre in after that, but I'm only going to put 9 in it to start with, and then we'll go from there. So that's 9 litres that we've put into it. I'm going to start it up and see how it goes. Make sure we get oil pressure. Let's recheck this oil after changing or filling it up, topping it up. We'll double check it, just let things settle. Oh boy, that's right on the mark. And it's as clean as. It'd probably be worth actually turning this thing over. The reason I say that is it'll make it go a little bit darker in colour, and I might be able to tell where it's actually at. I also want to turn it over because I'd like to turn the heater on inside the car. The reason I want to turn the heater on inside the car is because we're going to do a coolant flush on this vehicle. Pull the top hose out, pull the bottom hose out, drain the radiator, and we want to flush out the block of the motor. Now also how a heater works in a car is that it's got the two pipes here, I can see it on the firewall here, that go into the heater, what is it? Heater box in the car, and there'll be coolant running through that, so I also want that to be flushed out too. I don't want any old coolant still in there. I want it all to be flushed out and we put all brand new in there. So the only way that that's going to open up is if I go inside the car and I turn on the heater. So then it's all opened up and the flush will get absolutely everything. Plus also this vehicle probably needs to go outside before I do the flush, because I don't want coolant everywhere in this workshop. So what I'm doing here, because the wheel's hanging, is I'm just going to give it a spin, make sure things seem alright, and I'm just going to give it a bit of a wobble backwards and forwards, make sure there's no play. Seems to be pretty good. It has the tiniest little bit of play, which will be normal for a very, very, very small amount. If you've got a lot of play, then that's probably going to be something like a tie rod end or something is going to be loose or coming apart. Up and down, checking your ball joints, and a spin is checking your bearings. I'm happy with it. The other thing you might want to do on your car is check your tyres too. See how they're wearing. This is the one on the rear. You'll get more your problems of wearing probably on the front, but this is the back tyre. I had these tyres on the front and I had a bad wheel alignment. I don't know if people in the video can see, but the tyre is a little bit scalloped. So every one of these knobs on the muddy tyre, the second one is a little bit lower than the next one. What that's causing is a very loud noise on the road. It would have been because my alignment was wrong on the front. We put them on the back. I've got them up on a higher PSI. I haven't got the front as high. You can see it a little bit as I'm spinning it. You can see that one's a bit darker and lighter than the others. So yeah, but basically I put them on the back, higher PSI, try and wear them down a bit and get them back to normal. Tyre shop that I went to get the wheel alignment, they just said replace them, but $330 per tyre, I'm going to try and get the most I can out of them. When it comes to your tyres, they are the most important safety feature of your vehicle. Bigger muddy tyres are not always better for the road. They're better for the mud, but not better for the road. I've upgraded the braking system on this vehicle because of the big tyres. Well, mainly because of the big tyres. Yes, I am carrying a big heavy load, but the big heavy tyres take harder to stop. So I have put an upgrade of brake discs and things on the front and new brake lines and things. Just my soft lines, not my hard lines, and just to try and make this vehicle stop, which does improve it. But yeah, as I said, the tyres are the most safety feature of your car. So the front tyres are the ones that you really want to have a bit of a look at. So let's go and have a look. These front tyres look like they're wearing okay. These wear on the back. Looks like maybe a little bit more wear on the inside. That could have been just from the back. As I said, you're better off having your better tyres, your tyres with a better grip, like more tread on them on the front. The reason being is these are your stopping tyres. These take, when a car stops and it's going down a freeway, it's going to want to dip down at the front and put all the grip into the front. So you want your front tyres to have the most tread on them. You never want them to be bald, especially when you're carrying a big heavy weight. Especially also for turning corners. Turning corners is very important. People think that they got to put lots of tread on the back for getting through the mud, but I think your front tyres need to be the best on the front, and that's for the road, that's for safety. You know, kangaroo pops out in front of you and you go for a little bit of a swerve or anything, not that I recommend swerving, you're better off just trying to stop. And if you hit it, well, that's better than rolling your car and hurting yourself. But yeah, your front tyres are always, yeah, I can't say it enough, your front tyres are always going to be the more important with the tread. What I'm doing here is just going to check the quality of the rear diff oil. That's your drain plug and this is your filler plug. I'm going to open up the filler plug. I may, because the diff's drooping down a little bit, I might get a little bit of spillage out. I might get a rag ready. But your car's not high enough. Anyways, just got to check the quality of it. No, we haven't got any spillage out. So I'm going to check the level of it. What I've got here is just a bit of wire. I'm going to put, it's got a bend in it. Another one that you could use is possibly a cable tie just to check the level. I'm just going to stick it in, go down, and pull it out. And there we go, we've got oil on the end, and it seems like it's full. And then I bring it out on my finger, have a look. That to me looks nice and clean. I'm happy with that. Things you're looking for is it might be dark and you can't see through it. That means the oil probably needs a change. It might have gone white and creamy. That means you probably went through a river crossing and filled it up with water. Or you might see little bits of glitter in it, which means that the diff's probably not been put together properly, or it's been overpowered, or something's gone wrong and you've got bits of metal in it, which is detonation. You don't want that. I'm going to do the same on the transfer case and the gearbox. They both have filler and drain plug on it. Let's go and have a look at them. We are talking right here. Yeah, we can see that in the camera. We've got the drain and we've got the filler up here. That is clean. Clean. Other things we'll have a look at underneath here while we're here. Grab my torch. I'm going to check the belt. Make sure it hasn't got any cracks in it, make sure it looks in good nick. Make sure it's nice and tight. Checking over other pipes, make sure nothing looks like it's been leaking. You can tell that there has been a leak from the bonnet. All this, that was this top hose here. This is a hose that I want to change. Going into here was a leak. You can see I've put an extra hose clamp on it, trying to clamp it when I was away last to try and stop the leak, which did help. But we do have coolant. It's gone everywhere. Other than that, we'll check our levels. Power steering. You can see it on the outside, looks nice and clean. Clutch, oh no, brake. Brake fluid. Uses a dot for these cars. Make sure you put the correct dot in your vehicle. Oh, geez, she's tight. Might need 2 hands for this. Oh. It's pretty clean. Won't stick my dirty finger in there. This is the coolant one that we're going to be attacking soon. I want to check, make sure my battery terminals are nice and tight. Sure they're all in there. No corrosion. No leaks down here. I might grab my torch. I've got 2 filters in here for the fuel system, because you never know where you're going to get fuel from out in the outback, and you want to be double protected. This one actually will catch water as well. You can check it by the glass down in the bottom if anything is being collected down in any muck. We do have the original. You never remove the original, keep the original in there as well. It's just as good, so you're double protected here. Some of the places that you get diesel from out in Australia would be very old servos with very mucky tanks. And you want to make sure that you're keeping everything up to date, or keeping everything clean, I should say. Anyways, I'll be pulling the front part here all apart so I can get to everything for the coolant change. I'm just going to check the service book, see what else it might need. You can't beat the service book for it in regards to what you need to do to your vehicle. Don't listen to your mates, don't listen to Dr. Google, listen to your service book. The reason being is there's no one better than the bloke who built the vehicle to start with. They know what the car will require. There's lots of engineering and development done to get to the car to where it is. Apparently the next one that we need to do is the brake fluid replacement. I'm not going to do that on this vehicle because you can see back on my service we did the whole brake upgrade, which was all brand new fluid then, so I don't need to put new fluid in it. Other than that, there's nothing else. Alright, we'll write that in the book. What we've done, the filter, we've done the oil, we've checked everything else, check all the fluid levels, check tyres, check lights, check wiper blades, check indicators, door hinges, we've checked the bearings, we've checked the ball joints, we're going to grease all the shackles, check the battery, check the air filter. We won't do a cabin filter. I could see it's done the cabin filter at 171,000 in that book. So cabin filters, I believe, well, it depends on how many dusty roads you're going down, but I know where I've been in it, and I'm going to leave it to a good probably 30,000 until I change that. Yeah, other than that, that'll be the service done. Nice, quick and easy one. This full drive, we've got rear greasable shackles. I'd recommend them. The reason being is have grease in your rear rubbers is going to make them last a lot longer, especially for one that carries a load. You can see here my water tank is quite hard to get in there. Makes it quite hard to get in there. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. That has to be straight. What I might do here, because this is only a brand new suspension, I might see if we've got any right angle grease nipples, and maybe change it out and put some right angle grease nipples in it. This one I got, so that's what I had in it. They bend like that, and I've got one that's just got a slightly bent out a little bit more, and we'll see whether the grease gun gets on it. That's better. That went in there. Yep. You beauty. We're pumping grease into it now. We're going in here. Start it up. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the heater on. It should be heater flat out. So the pipes turn over. And back it out so we don't end up with coolant everywhere in the workshop. About here. Here is just a garden hose with water in it. So what we'll do is we've got the heater pipe here, which goes into the block. Putting this down here, we've got that lower plug taken out of the radiator, and that will flush it all out. We should see water come back out that heater as well. We'll go both directions, and that'll completely flush everything out. It'll also go down inside the The reservoir here as well, it just can just go every direction and flush everything out. You can actually see the water coming here out of the other pipe, which has got the one that goes to the motor. The heater is turned on, yes, and everything's coming out. So if you want to, could you put your finger on that down there? And then it'll get more out of here, wouldn't it? No?
Still coming out.
Still coming out? Is there enough pressure?
Yeah. And then wet your hose in the heater part of it.
I've done both ends here.
Yeah, both ends.
And then do I need to? I'll probably do a flush here, will I?
Yeah, yep, flush that.
Well, that's all the old stuff there.
Yep. Yeah, flush
that's
that
just
as well.
slowly filling up because it.
Yeah, you need to flush all that out as well.
That's the old pipe there. It's all coming out, cleaning it all. It's all coming out over here. Flush, flush, flush. What I'm going to do now is put all the hoses back together, put the plug back in the bottom of the radiator, and we will fill it up with the new coolant and then fill up the rest with water. As far as I know with this car, it is quite hard to get all the air bubbles out of it when you are filling it back up, so you have to run it as you fill it and you'll watch all the air bubbles come up in the reservoir. And after we've ran it for quite a while, just parked here, just idling, and got as many bubbles out of it as we can, we will take it for a drive, and that will open up the thermostat, and then hopefully then everything will wash through and we will have it all primed with no bubbles in it, and new radiator hose on there with the new coolant in it, all flushed out, all clean and ready for more adventures. I'm in here with the heater on, but we need a new sticker. There we are. Is the service done? We already did oil and filter and all the other basic service things, as well as a coolant and coolant and flush out of the radiator and all of that. As I probably said already, but take everything I've done as a grain of salt. Obviously you have to refer to your user manual of your car for proper information. Every car is going to be different, but yeah, this is how I service my car and get it ready for our next adventure. Okay, we'll see you out there on the tracks.